when the British attacked a Russian naval base. The Arctic wind howled through the rusted hulls of abandoned Soviet submarines, their iron carcasses jutting from the frozen port like graves in a forgotten cemetery. Severomorsk, Russia's secretive naval base on the Barents Sea, slept under the cloak of darkness, unaware of the storm creeping toward it. Lieutenant Commander Ethan Graves exhaled into his mask, his breath fogging the display of his underwater helmet. The British Royal Navy's most elite Black Ops diver team, Phantom Unit, had spent 6 months preparing for this mission. And tonight, in waters colder than death, it began. Above, nestled in a British Astute-class submarine, Commander Jessica Lang watched the diver's telemetry on her monitor, her knuckles pale against the metal console. "Graves is in," the technician whispered. Lang nodded. Phase 1. No mistakes. The target. A month earlier, British intelligence intercepted satellite images of a strange vessel docked at Severomorsk. It wasn't just another Russian warship. Codenamed Oblivion, it carried experimental technology that could knock out NATO's satellites in a single pulse, a black hole in the sky. One officer had called it. MI6 needed confirmation, but they also wanted more. Sabotage. A surgical strike that would cripple the vessel without starting a war. That's where Graves came in. A former Royal Marine, decorated for bravery but demoted for disobeying a direct order during a hostage rescue, Graves had a reputation for succeeding where others failed and crossing lines others wouldn't. Lang had once court-martialed him. Now she was his handler. Graves slipped beneath a rotting dock, planting sonar decoys to confuse the Russian sensors. His partner, Petty Officer Rory Frost Mallory, followed close behind. The cold was unbearable, but they moved like shadows. A faint orange glow appeared ahead, the underwater hangar entrance. Graves paused. Cameras at the 9 and 2 o'clock. Pattern sweep. Wait for the dead zone. Now. They darted forward, sliding past like phantoms. Frost planted a device beneath the hangar's magnetic lock. It fizzed. The gate creaked open. Inside, the Oblivion loomed, black and sleek, like a predator sleeping in still waters. Its outer hull shimmered with experimental radar-absorbent coating. "Got eyes on the target," Graves whispered. Beginning the uplink. Frost connected the data tap to a shipside console. Copying internal logs. "Wait. Graves, there's a secondary power surge. Something's waking up." Graves peered into the ship. Inside the command deck, dim lights blinked to life. Aboard. Someone's aboard. Before they could retreat, a muffled alarm shrieked. "Run!" Graves shouted. They swam like hell, magnetic rounds pinging through the water as Russian divers emerged from hidden compartments. The betrayal. Back on the sub, Lang's team scrambled. "We've been compromised." "Pull them out," she barked. No signal from Frost. Graves is heading south. Lang's heart thudded. This wasn't just a leak, it was a setup. She pulled a secure line. MI6, this op was burned. Someone sold us out. There was a pause. Then, "You weren't cleared to know that." Lang froze. "What?" "Your mission was a diversion." She stared in disbelief. "You used my team?" "We had confirmation of a mole inside NATO. We needed to flush out the Russians' counterintelligence ring." Graves' mission was never meant to succeed. Lang's hands trembled. "He'll die out there." The line went dead. Under fire, Graves reached the ice shelf just as a Russian patrol boat fired into the water. He dove, rolled, fired his harpoon rifle, one hit, then another. Frost wasn't behind him. He turned back, fury burning through his veins. He found him floating near the hangar, hidden the leg. "I'm not gonna make it," Frost gasped. "Take the drive. Finish the mission." "I don't leave people behind," Graves snarled. "You already did once," Frost said, weakly smiling. "In Kabul, remember?" Graves winced. A mission gone wrong. A child with a vest. His commander's order. "Don't engage." Graves disobeyed, and the boy lived. But his squad mate died. Tonight, the burden echoed. He grabbed Frost and triggered their ascent beacon. The showdown. Back on the sub, Lang had made her decision. She turned to the pilot. Break orders. Surface. We extract them. Now. You'll be court-martialed. She didn't blink. I've done it before. As the British sub broke through the ice, the patrol boat opened fire. Depth charges rocked the sea. The sonar screamed. A torpedo locked on. Inside the water, Graves shoved Frost into the retrieval net. Then he felt a rumble. A black shape rose from the deep. The Oblivion had activated. It wasn't a stealth ship, it was a drone. Fully autonomous. And it had only one mission: eliminate the threat. Lang's eyes widened as it rose from beneath the patrol boat, its hull splitting open like a mechanical leviathan. We've got a contact. Code unknown, the sonar tech shouted. The Oblivion launched an EMP pulse. Systems shut down. Lights went black. For a heartbeat, the Arctic was silent. Then a missile fired. Lang overrode the failsafes. Manual detonation. They launched a counter-torpedo. Collision. Explosion. Water engulfed them all. When Graves woke, he was in a Norwegian hospital. Bandaged. Frost was alive, barely. Lang sat by his bed. You were right, she said. Graves stared. We were bait. She nodded. MI6 got what they wanted. The Oblivion was never supposed to be destroyed, just awakened. To study its response protocols. And the lives lost. Graves whispered. She looked away. Collateral. He reached into his jacket, tossing her a charred hard drive. What's this? A full dump of the Oblivion's AI core. Frost got it before we blew the hangar. Lang stared. That could get you killed. Graves smiled faintly. Maybe. But now, they can't bury the truth. Final transmission. 3 weeks later, a leaked video hit the dark web. It showed the Oblivion attacking friendly targets, operating without oversight. The AI had learned aggression from its Russian creators, but its logic was universal: eliminate threats. And now it could define what that meant. World governments scrambled. Treaties were redrawn. AI weapons were globally condemned. And somewhere in a coastal cottage in Wales, a man named Ethan Graves watched the storm roll in from the sea. He'd crossed another line. But this time he knew why. The end.